welcome. Welcome to the Sunday Q&A today, and thank you for taking the time to be with us. Hi. Hey, it's good to see you all. Welcome, welcome, and happy Sunday to you. And let's just sort of take our favorite place. I don't know about you, but this morning I've already had a few opportunities to just be quiet and be present. I got my hot tub fixed, so I was able to go out in the hot tub for a few minutes. I have a hot tub that's outside, and it was cold this morning, but I love that experience of being able to just be in this nice, hot 104-degree tub, this hot water, and just be able to look out and sort of watch the air and the birds. And there's snow still out on the ground over here. And you guys that are also in the snow, you know what I'm talking about. We're in Maine, in the United States, and my hot tub hasn't been working until the guys came over Friday and fixed it, got it heated back up again. So I was looking forward to doing that. And it's a great time to sit and meditate, just sit quiet as awareness, as presence, and just be in that place of presence. Today is, I think today's workbook lesson, at least it is for me, is my only function is the one God gave me. My only function is the one God gave me, lesson 65. And if we, break that down, what does that mean? My only function, if you're on this path of awakening, and if you're on the journey of being awake or living an awakened life in a bodysuit, the only function that we have, now the Course in Miracles says that our function here is to heal, comfort, and to bless. Those would be three things, characteristics of the way, this bodysuit called Bill, that's animated by I am that I am. Its function is to heal, comfort, and to bless. And I think that's what it does. If you're following Ukraine, what's yours to do in that? What is yours, to be worried for them? Yeah, you could do that, but don't stay there. Don't stay worried for Ukrainians. Heal, comfort, and to bless. And as I think of them, let's just collectively, all of us, heal, comfort, and bless from right here, wherever we're sitting. Let's take the time to pausing. And I have my hand on heart, and this is my way of praying and moving the attention from the video screen or reading anything or seeing even someone's face on the video screen, just to close my eyes. And how would I heal from here? Well, I would just have my attention as awareness, being aware of being aware. And if I ask you, are you aware? It's not to be answered verbally, but are you aware of this experience? Yes, I'm checking in. Yes, I'm aware of hearing the sound of my voice. I'm aware of the feeling of hand on heart, and there is awareness that's aware of experience, and awareness just is. Prior to the label of a body part or the label of a bodysuit identity, it's just awareness is aware of being aware. And as this awareness is the focus of attention right now. Now I invite Ukraine, the country of Ukraine, used to be the USSR, is now trying to be, or has been, a democratic, independent country. I bring Ukraine into this experience of being aware of the thoughts and even the memory that Ukraine used to be USSR, just bringing that attention of awareness, bringing in the label of Ukraine and the idea of a country and other people. Just bring that into this space of awareness. Bring that into this space that we can also call love. Let's just call awareness, this presence, this aware presence, let's just call it love. We could call it the love of God, the love of I am, the love of pure presence. Now, as we abide in this place, we have a unique ability to heal, comfort, and bless. And we're healing the mind that might be afraid, that feels itself to be separate, scared, worried for life of the bodysuit, the personal self experience. It's very relevant to the ones that are hiding and scared for their life. And we bring you into this space. We are one self, united as the Creator, united with the Creator. And we're abiding in God because we're sitting at this computer. We're sitting in a place of peace that doesn't have that Ukrainian or that Russian experience, or anywhere on the planet that's experiencing fear and danger and traumatic worry. Now, as we have our attention on the ability, as I am, to heal, to comfort, and to bless, we bring you, whoever you are, in the one mind that we share, in the mind of God, in the mind of presence. There is only one being. We bring you into this space of presence. We invite you to, even if you are not conscious of it, to remember that you are what God is. You are love. You are perfect light. You are presence. And to give this experience, of healing, of comfort and blessings, we extend this to what God is. We extend this to the ones that believe that they're separate, the ones whose attention is on worry or fear or separation, or going through terrible travesty right now. We bring your attention, just even if it's only for a second, only for a moment, if you can bring your attention to your true essential self, which is love, which is pure presence. May you be able to have a glimpse of that, even if it's just for the hope of it. And we know it to be true for you, for we are one. We are one in the mind of God. We are one self, united with the Creator as itself. And may you be healed and comforted and blessed in this moment. And we'll just hold this place for you, this abiding place. of pure presence. And you might be someone that's it has nothing to do with Ukraine. Maybe you're a scared child that doesn't have a home, doesn't have a parents, or is lost. Maybe you're a drug addict and you're scared because you can't stop the drugs, or maybe you're an alcoholic. Maybe you're afraid for your life in some situation, and you're in Afghanistan, or you're in Africa, or you're in China, or in the United States, or Europe. Wherever you are, we extend the love of God, the presence of I am, to you, whatever your situation is that is causing you to not feel peace, not to be the peace that you are and experience that peace. You're not in this experience of knowing the self. We know the self for you. If you're an animal, or you're and you're in fear, it doesn't matter that you're not a human experience, but an animal, and you're experiencing fear. We heal, comfort, and bless you. This too shall pass, and you'll return back to the memory of God that we all share. And we just invite you all to breathe that in and extend it. And amen. You can open your eyes if they were closed. And I don't know, I was just, as I was reading that workbook lesson, I was moved to extend in that way, to heal, comfort, and to bless. And that really, that's our part. Some people, they go to these people, and they see it happening, and they respond physically. Others can't do that. Most of us can't get on a plane and probably wouldn't fly over and pick up a rifle and start shooting someone else. Or some of us can send money, some of us can't. But what we all can do is we can all do what we just did. And it's a very powerful force. And you'll remember a couple of weeks ago that I read from the Course that we were given, some instructions from the Course, besides the heal, comfort, and to bless. But there were instructions given that we are a communication device. This antenna that's called Bill is really a communication device, a sort of an avatar of God presence, and it's able to extend the vibrational frequency of God's presence. The vibrational frequency, it uses an avatar to bring identity to this experience. But we are a communication device able to receive and to send a direct communication of what God is, the frequency of God presence. And the closest I can come to that is in quiet, workbook lesson 106, in quiet I receive and I give God's word today, God's love and God's presence. And we have that ability to do that. We can do it with the Course invites us to bring someone to mind. Some could be a family member, could be a friend, could be some association that we've had in our life. We can bring that image into our experience, and we can just think about it. You can think about someone and they don't have to be physical in a body still. It can be someone that's past, it can be someone that's present, and it can be an enemy, or a seeming enemy. It can be someone that's as close to you as as a family member or a good friend. Bring that image into your experience right now, and just love them with the love of God that you are. We have that ability too, just to bring that person close to the God presence that you are aware of right now, that you're conscious of. And we have that ability too. And so thank you for joining me in that time to heal, comfort, and to bless. And I want to invite anyone that would like to raise their hand to raise their hand. And if you have any questions about, yes, thank you, Shelley. Bring the Russians into this as well, of course. We can do the most important thing, yes. And if anyone has any comments or questions, I know that a lot of people, and I think that's probably why this comes up, is a lot of people that are very, if they're watching the news or they're reading, in one of the newspapers, what's happening in Ukraine or what's happening around the world, and it can cause you to be worried. And what is that? Well, it's the experience of time and space. It seems like a travesty. It seems like there's significant suffering happening right here. It looks that way on a relative sense. And yet we can know, if you're here, it's most likely because you're interested in these matters of awakening. And if you're awake, even if it's momentarily, some of us are awake more than we're asleep. Some of us are drawn by the attention of the news that's happening around the world, worried about what's Putin going to do, what's this other, what's the United States, or what's China, what's Japan, or what's Poland or Turkey going to do? What are those guys going to do? And if your attention is on worry or fear, if you're drawn to it and you can't get out of it, you can come back to being centered and in alignment. You might click on the news and stay there too long and be going, oh my God, what's happening? I'm scared. Well, come back, and this voice of Bill saying, okay, if this happens to you, here's what you do. This is really your voice coming through this bodysuit saying, here's what you do. Pause, be aware of the fear, be aware of the worry about what's happening to someone else, or the worry that your bodysuit name has on it. If you're aware of that, just be aware of it and don't touch it. Be aware of the experience, and just being aware of it without logging in it's the act of what forgiveness offers. Forgiveness offers everything that I want. And you can take the word forgiveness, put a little strike through the word forgiveness and put awareness in its place. Awareness offers everything that I want. And there's a workbook lesson. If you're following the workbook lessons, you'll hear me say this when you get to workbook lesson 122, that's titled, Forgiveness Offers Everything That I Want. And if you cross through forgiveness and put awareness in its place, it comes in as at least for me, it comes in as a more direct experience. Awareness offers everything that I want. Now, we just had an experience where we entered together into the experience of awareness as awareness. And this awareness is a power. It's an ability that also has a power. Awareness offers everything that I want. And if there's something that's occurring, establish yourself as awareness. If something is occurring in your experience that's worry, fear, doubt, blame, shame, it's his fault, why did I do that? All of these things, just establish yourself as awareness. And then you can go into that workbook lesson 122, and you can allow awareness to be like forgiveness on steroids. right? Awareness offers everything that you want. Awareness is everything that you want. Awareness is what God is. Awareness is your essential self. It's the one thing that you always are, and you can't not be it. It's your experience of God that knows itself. In that first line in that workbook lesson, it says, "What could you want awareness cannot give?" Right? Or what could you want forgiveness cannot give? I like to take forgiveness and set it aside because that's a Christian term. It's not a bad thing. And I did it for many years until I realized, oh my God, I'm forgiveness. I'm what God is. Not Bill the bodysuit, but presence, but spirit, but I amness. That is what God is. And this is where the description that's given in the course that's called the borderland, this is where you are the light of the world. Workbook lesson 61, I think that's 61, where it says, I am the light of the world. Is that 61? Let me look at that. I think that's what it was. You are the light of, you are what God is. 60 is, let's see, 61. Is that 61? I am the light of the world. Yes. So awareness is the light of the world. Your true self is the light of the world. So if we're the light of the world, let's go there. And this is the same as awareness. And awareness, if I ask you if you are aware of this experience, what's your answer? Did anyone get something different than yes? Right? Did anyone get, is anyone here that's hearing my voice? If you're not aware of this experience, please type in the chat, I'm not aware of this experience. Please do that. So we can have some fun. But this first line in this workbook lesson 122 says, what could you want forgiveness cannot give? What could you want awareness cannot give? So as we establish ourselves as awareness, I've just checked in to ask if everyone's aware. I know I got a yes from everyone. If you're aware of anything, you can't have an experience that you're not aware of it. So if that's the kingdom of heaven, right? There's a workbook lesson, I think it's 188, that says in the first line of that workbook lesson, why wait for heaven? Why wait for heaven? Do you think that's some kind of a mystery riddle that it has a question posed like that? No. Why wait for heaven? So why wait for awareness? And if you think you need to wait for heaven, then you must also think that you need to wait for awareness, because awareness, the knowing of our own being, is the beginning and the establishment of our essential nature. Knowing ourself, it's not even the beginning. It establishes ourselves as I am, as I am. And heaven is just a symbol for the recognition of what we are always. Heaven is just a name. The kingdom of heaven is within. And where is within except right here as aware presence? Where is within if it's not right here? I am. If you can use those two words, if you can put those two words together, I am. Are you not identifying what God is? Are you not identifying the same two words that Moses put together? That when he thought God was out there, I am sent me. Okay. Some I am out there sent me. No, I am right here sent me. And that I am that spoke to Moses, guess what? That same I am is the one that, when you put those two words together, same I am that Moses recorded, that somehow the Israelites recorded through their scribes and their, the scriptures, but it's the same I am that I am. And this is our natural state. We get to have this all the time. I am that I am. And they even made a cartoon out of it many, many years ago. How many here remember Popeye? Right? I am that I am, and that's all that I am, right? Yeah, we used to think that was just a funny cartoon thing, but it's true. Popeye knew. I am that I am, and that's all that I am. So, yeah, laugh out loud in a good way. Yeah. Hi, Doris. Hi, everyone. Well, listen, I've talked a little bit, and it does bring. I like bringing the prayer. I like bringing the humor, laughing about things. And if you want to get serious for just a minute, just be happy for whoever is going through whatever they're going through, that whatever it is a passing cloud. Whatever it is, this too shall pass. So the travesties in the big picture of things, and this isn't burying your head in the sand. This is the real deal. The good news is that this is a temporary experience for everyone. And it seems like a travesty for some sometimes. And for others, they get the magic carpet ride a lot. And for those that are going through troubled waters, we don't know why some go through troubled waters and go through terrible things. We don't need to know, but the good news is that it's a temporary experience of a human experience, and consciousness never changes. The love that we are and the truth that we are and the light that we are, somehow consciousness decided to have this hellish experience. I remember when I first found A Course in Miracles, I had been a Christian for about 25 years. And when I started reading the Course, I went, oh my God, this is hell. This is what hell is. And I had a guy working for me. I was a general contractor, and I had a superintendent working for me, and I was a little bit of an evangelist. I wanted everybody to know about A Course in Miracles, and I started sort of proselytizing people that were around me. And I told my superintendent about the Course in Miracles, and I said, and this is hell. And this guy said back to me, he looks around, we're standing outside, he's looking around, he goes, this is hell? Wow, pretty nice place. He related it to, wow, hell's a whole lot better than what I heard about it, that hell, fire and brimstone stuff. So it's kind of funny. It's kind of what's the filter that you'll bring it through in a relative sense. I have been on the magic carpet ride my whole life. I've had hard times. I've had disturbances. I was out on the street at 14 years old, a drug addict early on in those early 13, 14, 15-year-old years. I was a drug addict. So my parents kicked me out and said, you can't live with us. And so that was probably the worst and scariest time of my life, was in those years where I didn't have a home to live in. And I was on the street just trying to figure out what to do. And I wasn't a real drug addict at that time. I had been after that, different periods of my life. But we all go through these different experiences, and still, all in all, I think I was on a magic carpet ride because I didn't have people down the street with machine guns. I wasn't, in Vietnam or Africa or some Afghanistan with people carrying guns and being cruel to other people. I had it relatively easy, as I'm sure that many of you did also. But anyway, here's where we are. We get to be Course in Miracles or non-dual students, and we are the light of the world. It feels really good to be on this side of the equation and be awake in the dream that believes that it's separate from its source. Yes, it feels really good to be on this side of the equation, and almost a little bit lucky. However, we do have a responsibility if we care to take it on, and the responsibility can be as simple and easy as what we opened up with, which is really to be compassionate to other people that are going through crap. For other people that are going through difficult situations, we can be an ambassador of love and truth. And on the big scale of things, consciousness is having this finite human experience, and this is the dance. This is the play of consciousness that is eternal, and presence and I amness, that is what God is. It's having a dance in this sandbox of human experience, and this too shall pass, and we'll move to some other sandbox. When this bodysuit is laid by, we stay the same. I amness, awareness, presence. You don't know when this bodysuit bill lays by, awareness doesn't change. I am stays the same and just illuminates and animates and continues to be exactly as it is, because it not only animates these bodysuits, it animates the solar systems and the galaxies and the cosmos. And there's no place where this I amness, this presence, is not. It's our littleness that thinks that these bodysuits are really important. It's our littleness that thinks that, oh my God, how important this bodysuit is. Oh, look, it's getting wrinkles. Oh my God. And we give attention to this little grain of sand that God has identified itself to be, when God is pure presence of the cosmos. And on a big scale of things, that makes me very happy. It makes me very happy to know that when this bodysuit gets incinerated or killed or hurt, that it's just a passing cloud, and the presence of God, the eternalness of I am, that we can find connection with. We can find connection with the eternalness of God, right? We did it when we started, when I offered for us to pause in pure presence. We found ourselves in awareness of our being. If you're aware of this experience right now, you are connected. You're that connected link to God, to God's presence, to awareness. Just being aware, right? Just being aware is like the grain of sand that knows itself. And that's you, beloved. That is you. If you're aware of being aware, if I were to ask you, what is it right now, and just abiding in this place, what is it that is aware of this experience? And mentally, awareness reveals itself. Awareness just is. I am aware of this grain of sand. Yes, thank you, Daryl. And as awareness, if I ask you, does this awareness have a gender? Does awareness have a gender? You can't find a gender in awareness. Does awareness have an age? You can't find an age in awareness. And does this awareness, is this awareness aware of sensations, of thoughts? So this awareness is aware of thoughts. This awareness is aware of sounds, right? And when the thoughts are here, are not here, awareness still is. When sounds are not here, like in between the words that I speak, awareness is still present. Yes? Yes. And when we are aware of sensations, feelings, if those sensations are a pain experience or just the pressure of sitting on a chair, that's awareness is aware of the sensation, and the sensation may come and go, and yet awareness stays the same. And this same awareness is the awareness of love's presence. It's our natural state. This is our essential self, this awareness. And we just proved that this awareness doesn't have an age. It doesn't have a physical location. It's aware of all experience. And yet experience comes and goes, and it remains as it always is. Because, beloved, this awareness is not the bodysuit that you think you are. Awareness is the presence of God. Awareness is the energy that all things rise in. Awareness is even before energy, because awareness, when they break down all the quantum particles and they look for that thing that's at the smallest field of being able to be seen even by electromagnetic energy, by electromagnetic devices, there's nothing there. And this is you. This is awareness. This is the thing that can't be measured at the quantum level. This awareness is you. And it was never born. It never dies. It doesn't really reside in this bodysuit with your name on it. And yet it can use this bodysuit. It can use the mind to be aware of itself. Is that a miracle? That is a miracle within itself. Now, consciousness, I amness, will use this bodysuit to be aware of itself. And if for nothing else, this is what the world is for consciousness to be aware of itself, for consciousness to be aware of its own being. And we are that. We are the love of God. We are the love of presence, of awareness, of beingness. We are that. This is our essential self. This is I am. This is you. This is you. Without the bodysuit. This is you without the bodysuit, right? Just be here for a moment. . This is resting in God. I rest in God is another, it's a workbook lesson, 109. I'm going to read that in a kind of a paraphrased way. I don't see any hands up, so I think I'm just going to keep talking a little bit. If a hand comes up, I'm happy to answer any questions. But this is a great workbook lesson. I rest in God, right? Take out God's name and put I rest in awareness. Okay, I give you a license, a permission to do that. You can cross out any word you want to. Some people get pissed off about crossing words out. Just do it. Have fun with it. You can cross out any word so that it resonates with your beingness. I rest in awareness. I rest as awareness. I rest in God. They're the same. We ask for rest today and quietness, unshaken by the world's appearances. We ask for peace and stillness, right? So we're resting in that peace and that stillness. In the midst of all the turmoil born of clashing dreams, we ask for safety and for happiness, although we seem to look on danger and on sorrow. And we have the thought that will answer our asking with what we request. We have a thought that answers that. I rest in God. I rest in awareness. Right? This thought will bring to you the rest and quiet, peace and stillness, and the safety and the happiness that you seek. This thought will, right? So you can, anytime your peace is disturbed in any way, you can pause, rest in awareness, and you're right there in the stillness, the quiet presence, the happiness that you seek. You have that ability. I rest in God. This thought, right? This is just a thought. So we're giving our attention to this thought. This thought has power to wake the sleeping truth in you. You follow with me in this now. This thought has the power to wake the sleeping truth in you, whose vision sees beyond appearances to that same truth in everyone and everything there is. That's where we go when we heal, comfort, and bless. That's where we go when we pause as awareness. Here is the end of suffering for all the world. So we did that too. And everyone who ever came and yet will come to linger for a while. Here is the thought in which the Son of God, or the awakening awareness, right? In which the awakening awareness is born again. This is you. You're awakening to the awareness of love's presence. So this is talking about you. When it says Son of God, I just like to use something that's more direct. This is in which the Son of God is born again to recognize itself, himself or herself, itself. I rest in God completely undismayed. This thought will carry you through storms and strife. So this is just a thought of resting as awareness. Past misery and pain, past loss and death, and onward to the certainty of God. Onward to the certainty of I am. Bring it directly in as a direct experience. It brings it onward to the certainty of I am that I am. There is no suffering it cannot heal. There is no problem which it cannot solve. Now, this is talking about awareness, beloved. So don't put it as a God out there somewhere. There is no suffering it cannot heal. There is no problem which it cannot solve. And no appearance but will turn to truth before the eyes of you who rest in God. Now, this is just the prodigal son, the prodigal daughter, the prodigal isness that's remembering itself as I am. This is the day of peace. You rest in God, and while the world is torn by winds of hate, your rest remains completely undisturbed. I am that I am is completely undisturbed. Awareness is untouched by all experience. Completely undisturbed. Yours is the rest of truth. Appearances cannot intrude on you. Now I'm speaking to the self. I am speaking, this workbook lesson is speaking to the I am awareness that you are. Appearances cannot intrude on you. You call to all to join you in your rest, and they will hear and come to you because you rest in God. They will not hear another voice but yours because you gave your voice to God. You gave your voice to this awareness, to this I amness, and now you rest in it and let it speak through you. In him or in presence, you have no cares and no concerns, no burdens, no anxiety, no pain, no fear of future, and no past regrets. In timelessness, you rest. While time goes by without its touch upon you, time doesn't touch what you are. For your rest can never change in any way at all. You rest today, and as you close your eyes, sink into stillness, right? So as we rest in God, as we rest in awareness, we sink into stillness, into the vibratory frequency of God, of what God is. Let these periods of rest and respite reassure your mind that all its frantic fantasies were but the dreams of fever that has passed away, just a passing cloud. Let it be still and thankfully accept its healing. So let's just rest in that statement. Let it be still and thankfully accept its healing. No more fearful dreams will come now that you rest in God. So when you're understanding what it's pointing to, when you're resting in God, fearful dreams can't reside there. Worry and fear can't reside there. Take time today to slip away from dreams and into peace. This is your time of respite. Each hour that you take your rest today, a tired mind, this could be some other continent somewhere, a tired mind is suddenly made glad. This is what we established when we first started our time together today. A bird with broken wings begins to sing, even with a broken wing, a leg, being eaten by another animal. A stream, long dry, begins to flow again. It has effects on the minerals, on the air that's breathed. The world is born again each time, beloved, you rest and hourly remember that you came to bring the peace of God into the world, that it might take its rest along with you. This is how powerful we are. These incarnate bodysuits have a power that brings God into play, even in consciousness. With each 5 minutes that you rest today, the world is nearer waking, and the time when rest will be the only thing there is, comes closer to all worn and tired minds, too weary now to go their way alone. And they will hear the bird begin to sing and see the stream begin to flow again, with hope reborn and energy restored, to walk with lightened steps along the road that suddenly seems easy as they go. So let's keep our attention on these things, the power of God that moves through the earth experiences as it's described. You rest within the peace of God today and call upon your brothers, your sisters, the objects of experience in your life, from your rest to draw them to their rest along with you. You will be faithful to your trust today, forgetting no one, bringing everyone into the boundless circle of your peace. The holy sanctuary. This is a holy sanctuary, just keeping our attention on these ideas. The holy sanctuary where you rest. Open the temple doors and let them come. In other words, bring everyone with you. Bring all of your thoughts with you. Bring them right here. Let them come from far across the world and near as well. Your distant brothers and sisters, your closest friends, bid them all enter here and rest with you. Do this. You can do this. You have the power of I am that I am to do this. If someone is coming to your mind, it's not by accident. If some situation is coming across your mind, it's not by accident. You are a very powerful giving and receiving channel for God, for truth, for presence of I am that you are. This is your natural state. This is your inheritance. You rest today within the peace of God, quiet and unafraid. Each brother or sister comes to take his rest and offer it to you. We rest together here, for thus our rest is made complete. And what we give today, we have received already. Time is not the guardian of what we give today. Time is not the guardian of what we give today. We give to those unborn and those passed by, to every thought of God, right? So anything that happened, that seemed to happen in the past, and those that haven't been born yet, this is affecting that. And to the mind in which these thoughts were born and where they rest, and we remind them of their resting place each time we tell ourselves, I rest in God. I rest in awareness. You, we, I am that I am, rests in awareness. That was awesome, right? That one workbook lesson just blows my mind. And we have that. I mean, we all have that ability. Just change that, take that word, cross out, I rest in God. And unless you just really want to use it, that works fine too. It's fine. I rest in awareness. Hi, Rana. Good to see you. Would you unmute your mic?
Hey, Bill.
Hey.
Hey, everybody. I might be echoey because I'm in this room, but I just wanted to thank you so much for that. And there was a question. Hey, Shelley, there was a question in the chat from our friend Brenda, and it said, we can choose happiness. And I just want to say, Brenda, what he just described how to do it, that's how you do it. And it seems so simple, right? Bill always says it's so simple, you miss it. But if I just rest in that awareness, And like when we were doing the first prayer for Ukraine, right?
Yeah.
My mind is now an adventure to me. It's just funny because the visuals that I was getting of us sending our love, sending, you know what I mean? And instead of judging that stuff now, I just kind of laugh and go back to that space. And I think that's what really got me was the idea of the spaciousness. You know, if we take the walls down from where we're all sitting right now, we're all sitting in the same space. We're all arising in that space. And those people in Ukraine and Russia and on that side of the world, they're part of that same space. And so somehow, some way, we're oneness with all that space. And then to have you go through the lesson 109, I love that one. And you know, it affects a change on other people. And I see it in my own personal life that these practices do affect those around me without me saying anything. So thank you so much, Bill. Happy Sunday.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for that, Rana. And I also love that, that image that takes place when you take the roof off your building that you're in. Doesn't matter what floor you're in, just take the whole roof off. And as the space changed, take the walls down, let the walls fall down. Has the space changed? No. And that's like awareness. Awareness just is, and there's no place where it ends. And it just keeps on going. You know, they can put a light beam that goes out into the universe, and there's no end to that. And that's what awareness is. That's what God is. That's what our eternal self is. And these bodysuits, when you put it into that perspective, these bodysuits look pretty finite, pretty small. And yet we are the awareness of the experience of the bodysuit. We are that which is aware of all experience. And although we can't ever prove it, we can't prove that we see what happens when the bodysuit dies. Nothing. The bodysuit lays down. Bill thinks it's dead, but what is the awareness of experience? It never dies. It's always present, and it incarnates into some other experience or something. You know, it just continues to create and be what it's always been. And that's our eternal nature, our eternal self that never dies, always is. And what's really cool is that this essential self that we are, this true self, this I am presence, it's using that bodysuit with your name on it. Marty, Chuck, Tom, Kathleen, Karen, Dorothy, Barbara, Ann, Lindsay. It's using that bodysuit to be aware of experience. And even being aware of being aware is using that bodysuit with your name on it for consciousness to know it and be aware of itself. You are a living, breathing avatar that is allowing consciousness, the love of God, to be aware of its own experience through the activity of the body mind, of the bodysuit. You're doing that. Love is doing that and animating and expressing through this bodysuit with your name. So take that in and smoke it in your pipe. All right, you guys. Well, it's been great to be with you today. Thank you for joining with me. I love you. I bless you. Mwah. I don't think I'll be here next Sunday, but I might be. If you get an email, you'll know that I got moved to do it. All right.